Hi everyone. So today what we're going to cover is some finding props around the house. So in a lot of my classes for my personal students, or if you're new to yoga, I use a lot of props in my gentle class. So we fondly call it the toy box. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some of the things that you can find around the house, because I'm sure some people are like, we use all those props in class, I don't know what to use. So we're going to go through that today. So the first thing we'll start with is blocks. So blocks help give you lift in a myriad of situations. So that can be when you're coming into a forward lunge. So maybe you're up here. Maybe it has to be using something like this. You can also be using it in our class for the gentle. I usually use what's called a bolster ramp. We'll get to bolsters in a minute. So we use the blocks at the back to give a little bit of lift. So it makes a little ramp. So things you can use for blocks. Books, just make sure that they are steady under you, so that if they have covers that are slippery, make sure that you're safe. So you can use paperback books, hardback books. You could use stacks of magazines. Once again, be careful of slippery. For the ramp at the back under a bolster, you can actually take a blanket or two and just roll things up and stack them or lay them across each other till you just get some kind of a mild incline that you could lay a bolster across, or a pillow, which we'll get to that in a second. The other thing that I just found, and this seems probably silly, but this is what we use for a lot of our snacks around the house. So this has our trail mix in it. I don't need trail mix. But it's a little firm plastic container, comes in a couple different sizes. So if these look familiar to you and you have them around your house, guess what? You can use those. That would be solid enough to use as a block coming into a lunge. So from there, moving on, actually let's take one more second on blocks. I would say, my personal opinion, if there's anything that while we're all stuck at home during this, that you were going to try to order and kind of wanted a list of priority, yoga blocks, in my opinion, would be top of the list, because they're very affordable and they are multi-useful. So if you were going to be actually ordering some supplies from, say, Amazon, say hi to my cat, one of them, two of them. So if you were going to order some supplies, this would be top of my list, because this is not going to be a break the bank expense, and it's something that you can find multi-useful in your yoga practice. So that's my opinion on blocks. Biddy, you're going to have to move out the way. Next, moving on to a strap. So at the studio, we just have basic cotton straps. The Unroll, we use them for a few different things. Belts, shoelaces, on the longer side, shoelaces. One of the things I've been recommending is yoga pants. So we got Curious George going on here. So yoga pants, nice and stretchy, we all have them. Nice length, you can work with them for the arms, you can work with them hooked over a foot. So yoga pants would be your best friend. Old nylons. Old nylons can be used, or stockings, doesn't matter if they're full nylons or thigh high, or long socks. Those are things that can work as a strap. The bolster, everyone's favorite. So the bolster, this is not probably something that everyone has laying around the house. So that being said, a couple pillows. You can stack a couple thin pillows. You can have one nice thick pillow. I happen to like the memory foam crunchy pillows, so I have these big fat pillows in the house those would be useful. So you can pull things off the bed. Couch cushions might be a little bit big, but those couch pillows that have a little more firmness to them, you could stack a few of those. You can use more than one. And then you could lay, if you had like multiple pillows, you could just lay a blanket over the top to smooth it out. So you're going to start getting industrious around the house, looking for things that are useful. Another favorite, bone pillows. Not something that everybody has laying around. So you can utilize anything that's going to give you about a 5-inch circumference. We use these typically behind the neck. Some people will use them behind the knees if they have knee problems. So you want something that's going to give you about that 5-inch lift. So you can use rolled up towels, a couple rolled up hand towels, things like that that you can place behind the neck or behind the knees to give you a little bit of lift. So that's what the bone pillow is used for. From there, blankets. Lots and lots of blankets. You can also use sheets. Sheets would be good for the bone pillow. A couple sheets rolled up. Obviously not getting into probably like the king size. But these type of blankets, they don't have to be these like little, what we used to call Mexico blankets. But these are nice because they're on the thin side. So you do want to watch how thick your blankets are unless you're looking for more lift. So just think outside the box of what kind of lift are you trying to gain, or are you trying to smooth something out? As I said, if you had two pillows from your couch that are going to be jointed, pushed together on some blocks, maybe a blanket or two, laying that down, giving yourself a little bit of lift and evening out so that the pillows don't separate. So any types of blankets will work. You can also use a folded blanket for the bone pillow. If you had something like that behind the neck, just so that it's seated underneath of there, if you're laid back, keeps the cervical neck supported. So blankets, blankets, blankets. To me, it's always better to have more toys out than not enough. And if you don't use all of them, you can just put them back on the couch or in the cupboards or whatever the case may be, because right now, realistically speaking, we have a lot of time on our hands most of the time. The last thing, and this is just kind of throwing it out that this isn't a prop, but many of my students know that I do use oils. We use a lot of oils around the studio. We have some mists made, or some of us just put it on our hands, or a little towel. So essential oils, if you don't have them in your home, they can be ordered online. They have some good antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral properties. They're good for respiratory things. You can just Google these things, see what pops up. But the few different brands that I personally use, this is just my opinion. But if you're looking for it because you're thinking, okay, I'm at home, I love those oils from the end of class or things like that, I use a company called Revive. I use a company called Real Oil. I use Young Living. I use doTERRA, and I use Mountain Rose Herb Company. So any of their breathe blends or respiratory blends, eucalyptus, ravensara, things like that, lemon, all of those would be good at this time. So that's just a personal thing for myself that I'm using in my own home. That's just my opinion, but if you're looking for places to try to find those types of things, those are a few locations. And most of them, I think, are doing the online orders, and some of them might be backlogged, you might have to wait a little bit, but that's what I tend to use at the end of class with my students before we go into Shavasana. So that's it for our Props 101 for the day. So you can watch this at any time before any of the other classes in case you feel like, I don't really know what to find around my house. So we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching our classes. Thank you for your support. Thank you for any donations. We appreciate it, but we really want to make sure that you have your practice more than anything. So till we can all see each other again, be well, be safe, take care.